What's up, gamers? Today we will do a fierce comparison. Ace vs Akainu, the new all-star units in Update 1. Eternal enemies in One Piece, but inside the game, they serve particular roles. First, we need to get them. Ace requires 5 blue ghosts, which can be crafted with the ghost eggs, obtained from challenges, 10 each. 5 rainbow ghosts, level 3, also in challenges. 2 double fruits from any One Piece challenge. 2 quick fruits from Blackbeard's mission next to the infinite mode. Finally, you will need 3 of Ace hats, which are dropped in the second trial. Then, Akainu needs 7 red ghosts, 7 rainbow ghosts, 5 experience ghosts level 4, and 5 of Ace hats. Alright, now that we have both units, let's check their stats. Although the units shown are not level 1, they do have C stats and a similar level. The first difference is that Ace is a heal unit, while Akainu is grounded and costs more. Interestingly, Ace begins doing more damage, but being a second sword. Both have a medium-sized circular AoE and hit multiple times. I believe they both hit 3 times per attack. Upon the third upgrade, Ace switches attacks, basically doubling his damage but getting slower. Here's where they start differentiating, since Akainu also gets a new attack, hitting really hard but really slow too. This makes him good against bosses thanks to his damage, but will struggle with crowds. He also only hits once now. Akainu's next attack comes with his 6th upgrade. His AoE becomes a tick line and is way faster. So even if he is losing damage per hit, his DPS increases and he's hitting 3 times per attack again. On the other hand, Ace doesn't change attacks to his last upgrade, unlocking Hiken. He becomes extremely fast and gets a massive damage increase, dealing up to 4000 every 3 seconds, yet his DPS fails to surpass Akainu's. From now on, Akainu showcases his prowess as an emerald, for his last 2 upgrades bring his damage to the extreme and obtains a new ability. His ability, Magma Pool, summons 2 magma pools every 5 seconds within Akainu's range. These pools deal half his damage and inflict burn. There's a maximum of 6 pools per Akainu, so a player could have up to 18 pools on the map. Even more insane is that these pools can damage her enemies. Now let's focus on the traits. The following stats are all of level 80, Ace and with triple S stats. They will be appearing on screen, comparing the most significant traits with the base version. All 4 base Ace reach a damage per attack of 36,693. Quite brutal, such stats skyrocket when using the proper traits. Fun fact, the sharpshooter trait allows units to hit a random enemy for 5% of their damage. The thing is that this effect has infinite range, and there's a funny interaction that if the unit has any additional effects, those effects will be applied to the enemy. Meaning that if the unit inflicts burn, bleed, and I believe even slow, it will be applied to the random enemy too. I can't confirm this, but I swear I have seen enemies slow down thanks to my sharpshooter Blackbeard. All-Star actually makes Ace lose some DPS because the multiplier is like having 4 base Ace instead of having 4 with other buffs. Therefore, the best traits for Ace are Bloodlust, thanks to its massive damage boost, as 4 Ace will be dealing 44,031 damage per hit, including burn, and reaching 18,346 in DPS, followed by Corrupted and Genesis in third place. Although this is based on pure DPS, for story mode it's quite valuable to have several units to place, since the amount of enemies can become overwhelming. So All-Star already has a downside, plus being able to place 4 aces decreases the benefits of All-Star by a lot. In addition, Corrupted provides support as enemies receive 10% more damage from all units, so if you're lacking a Corrupted unit or play with others, this trait could be of most benefit, since Ace is also super fast. So any of these traits are useful, just aim for the one that adapts to your playstyle. That's enough talk though. Let's continue with Akainu's analysis. His best trait changes so slightly because you can only play 3. I repeat, he will be level 80 with triple S stats. Looking at the 3 base Akainu, these achieve a total damage of 60,419 with burn, and a DPS of 13,426. I want to address the Tempest dilemma. This trait is quite underwhelming since it only gives a 10% speed reduction and a 30% damage increase to dots. At the moment of recording, the only dots in game are Bleed, Burn, and Shock. This means that Burn will actually deal 52% of the unit's damage, while Bleed will do 32.5%, and so on. The problem is that the percentage is based only on the dot damage, so you're missing out on the base damage multiplier, which at the end of the day results in a greater DPS, because it's just naturally higher. It is true that you require a 30% damage boost to reach the same degree of burn, but having that buff will also result in a higher DPS than Tempest thanks to the changes to the base damage. Contrary to Ace, Akainu does benefit a lot from All-Star. His total cost is reduced by 83,000, while his damage goes all the way up to 80,559, and DPS to 20,139. Bloodlust is a close second, having almost the same DPS as All-Star. And finally will be Genesis, Corrupted, and Tempest, depending on the role you need your Akainu to perform. Now that we have explored their stats and traits, it's time to find their best uses. Ace is cheap to place and his total cost of 44,100 is totally reasonable for his great DPS. You can place up to 4, so he's ideal for story mode and challenges. On the other hand, each Akainu costs 66,400. But provides brutal damage. He's fast, both his AoE have similar capacities, and shines the most in Infinite or the more difficult maps. Next, how do we use them? At the time of recording, there are no orange trials yet. They should be able to destroy any map that isn't blue, especially Ace. Akainu requires some thinking in order to get the most out of him, since his ability spawns magma pools within his range. I believe it is better to place him at the end of a map or where all your stall is concentrated, so that no pools accidentally miss the coming enemies, or don't get the chance to respawn for an important wave. Around here seems to be a good placement for Akainu, but I would like to know, what do you guys think? Personally, I like this placement for X. Perfect! We analyzed the prowess of both characters. I hope you enjoyed the video and that it was useful to some. Like always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. See you next time, gamers!